Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full House Games. You're joining us for round 2 of the Modern Wednesday. I am, of course, Caleb, and joining me is Bo, and we are commentating the match of Scott playing Infect versus, I believe it's pronounced Misha, playing Polymorph.
Polymorph is a pretty sweet deck. It is a nice brew.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it a brew. I mean, Misha's might be, but it's probably around about a tier 2/tier 3 sort of
I think
deck.
like all the pieces have been there for a while and no one's really quite put it together. So I'm calling it a brew-ish.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's never been a top tier deck, but it is quite good.
So what does it intend to do? It tries to use the card Polymorph and it blows up a creature and then cascades into something bigger, right?
Yeah, essentially, you're sort of just cascading into another creature. It's like Possibility Storm, but you sacrifice a creature and get the other creature that you want.
Yeah.
Man, I can see Possibility Storm as a sweet card for just casting Emrakul.
Possibility Storm is a sweet
I'm gonna
card.
do it. I'm
I
gonna
love
do it
that
now.
card.
I'm gonna make a Possibility Storm Ponder deck.
Oh my god.
Oh, and just have like a 1-drop creature that I cast into Emrakul.
Bear is trying to build a Chaos EDH deck. It's got all those kinds of cards. It's got like that one that's like, when you cast a spell, you redirect it to anybody else randomly. It's pretty funny.
Ah, Karvek as the commander. That's what you need.
That's the donate creature.
No.
Is that the new one?
Whenever your opponent casts a spell, you can deal damage to them.
Oh really?
Equal to its CMC.
He's doing the donate guy because he's gonna play donate in it. He's gonna give someone the donate, gain 20 life, and then they lose 20 life.
Nice.
Yeah. Alright, so what did he play here? Was that is that a Halmar Depths?
Yeah, I believe so. Interesting way to start off. But basically the idea of Polymorph is to just dump a bunch of tokens on the field and then turn one into an Emrakul or some other equivalent legendary creature.
Mm-hmm.
And of course playing against Infect on the left, the plan is just to play a creature and then punch you in the face with it.
Yeah.
And basically make you as sick as humanly possible with those Phyrexian poison counters.
You will die from vomiting. Because you will be so poisoned and sick.
Yeah.
Food poisoning.
So, Misha has 2 mana up. I don't know what for. He took a shock.
I think he wanted to keep a
exile.
path.
Okay, that seems good.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to see Azuria's Charm make a return into Modern. And just Azuria's Charm your manlands.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Seems like a powerful enough card. The charms are really diverse.
That one bounces a dude to the top, it draws you a card, and it gives you a dude's lifelink.
Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty good. That's
lifelink pretty much never seen as a mode being played.
Yeah, I saw like twice in a whole year of sitting down to it against like the Bant and the blue-white controls back in RTR Standard.
Yeah, I mean there was that infinite combo, but with Boros Ragnar, but yeah, really not a lot. So an unfortunate turn of events. Scott is left with 3 coloured mana, and I think he was pretty much riding on that. Excuse me,
Inkmoth Nexus.
That Inkmoth Nexus, yeah, but got a little bit too greedy and ran into it, sort of deal. And end of Scott's turn, casting. What card is that?
Like sends.
Ring the Bells makes it 2/2 guys.
Yeah.
And an Ikaclaw me.
Yeah, he's a staple in that deck, isn't he?
Yeah.
In Legacy, they only play the 2 and they play the manland, but in this they have to play the extra guy. Sometimes they play the black flying guy.
Yep.
Is this one mono green or does this splash?
This looks like mono green, all things considered, but
very good budget deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's up there with Storm for powerful budget decks. In fact, I think Pauper Infect deck is probably one of the strongest possible decks.
What's this?
So he looks like he's dumping some...
That's a Might Evolve Crozer, and that's a Giant Growth, I believe.
Yeah, sure. So Might Evolve Crozer is going to give... There's two of them? Come on, here's where we have the Azorius Charm, right?
Oh, it's a path. Oh, Vines of Astwood. And... oh, good, that's so good.
Vines of Astwood only works if it's kicked?
Yeah, the pump is for the kicker, and the normal is the hexproof.
Yep, nice. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit of a blowout. You really probably want to lead with that, I guess, rather than just pumping your own dudes.
Yeah. Oh well, Might Evolve Crozer, it gives +4/+4 when it's sorcery.
Yeah, but if you lead with...
But the Giant Growths, for instance. Here we go.
Polymorph.
Here's some fun.
Alright, so this is sort of where it comes down to what legendary creature are we actually going to hit. I think this is running just Jin Gitaxias, but might also be running Emrakul. Supreme Verdict, Boseiju. Wow, alright, we're going through a lot of cards here.
Land.
The important thing is, Polymorph allows you to stack your deck.
Yeah, once it's resolved.
If you go through most of your deck...
Hey.
Okay, Emrakul, yeah! Alright, that's what we want to see. Not so much for our Infect friend over here, but yeah, it's probably a good choice. Alright, so we'll go on to game 2. Yeah, it's basically Polymorph's whole plan. I'm just gonna... Here's some tokens, it's looking really cute, and then Polymorph, or I believe there's a stick that you just put target creature on the bottom of your library, and you can Polymorph every turn.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, since you're only really running 2 major creatures, which are Jin Gitaxias and Emrakul, you're gonna hit one.
Does this deck run Timely Reinforcements? That is a sweet card. I like that one.
Quite possibly, actually. And if it's in the sideboard, it'd be something that I'd be bringing in, considering
I wouldn't be in against this.
Well, you're taking shocks, so you're always going to be on life for the most part.
And I guess you're always going to have less creatures than them.
And yeah, you really you just need the bodies to sort of throw under there.
Yeah, chuck them under the bus.
So, I mean, I don't know what's in Misha's sideboard, but it's definitely an option that you can have. That did seem like a really slow start from Scott, unfortunately. Probably relying on that manland a bit too much and not really playing around stuff like Path to Exile or Azorius Charm, perhaps. But
give Mish a couple more turns to kind of build up.
Yeah, definitely.
The surprise cards.
I don't think you can just sit on pump spells. You really need an attacker or a creature.
Just like a chipper, just a guy to chip him down, a couple times a turn. Yeah,
even if you don't cast anything on it, if you're just swinging with your little guy every turn, you know, it's you only need to get 10 points of damage in with Infect, so... you can just hold back your spells as much as possible until you have to do it, until your opponent taps out to do something like that, and then you just maybe give it some sort of neg effect if you can, because I believe Polymorph is target creature.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you can kill that creature, I'm not quite sure how in mono green Infect, but if you can, then it's definitely something that you need to do. That's one way of doing it. He can use the protection spell that he's got.
Yeah, Vines of Astwood. Yeah.
Yep.
Block it. That's pretty cool.
Vines of Astwood will give it hexproof from his opponent, and there's the other one that can give it... is it Apostle's Blessing that gives it protection from a color?
Yeah, protection from a color, so you give it
a
protection
colorless
from blue.
and Phyrexian mana. Yeah, so... that's something you need to keep in mind when you're playing against a deck like this. You can actually stop his deck by using your own typical pump spells against your opponent.
Yeah, a little surprise tactics there. I don't know if that's something that you think about though when you're playing Infect. Like, do you hold on to your Apostle's Blessing and hope that it works, or what do you do? It sounds really weird.
Well, I don't think you really need to cast Apostle's Blessing until you need to cast it, right?
Yeah.
And it's Phyrexian mana, so you should always have 1 mana open to cast it, because you want to protect your guy. But, excuse me, that being said, that's something you got to think about when you're playing Magic.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best way for me to use all my spells? Do I try and go for the win as quickly as possible, or do I have to actually play the control, play the late game,
and just hope that you just can
blow my
chip
opponent
them
out?
Yeah, just hope. There really are only two ways to play this: is I will burst you down and kill you right away, or there's, I'll just play the chip game and just hold up all my pump spells for later on.
Right, and that's something Misha's got to be worried about, or might not be worried about, and then get blown out by it. A Vines of Ashwood or an Apostle's Blessing on one of his creatures to make sure that it survives, or to make sure that Scott survives. And I just want to make sure that I'm not wrong here in that I know Vines of Vastwood is the trick you can definitely do, but about Apostle's Blessing. Okay, no, you can't use Apostle's Blessing because it's a creature you control.
Ugh.
But
Vines of
Ashwood will whack.
And you don't even pay the kicker on; you just pay the one.
Yeah, exactly. You certainly wouldn't
it.
want to pay the kicker on it.
It's weird because it gives hexproof, but like the hexproof is on their dude, which still works. Alright, so we got to get pro. We see he's got an Emrakul in his hand. And,
so Vines of Ashwood is a target creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control this turn. If it was kicked, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. But the relevant part is that it can't be the target creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control this turn. So it's not exactly hexproof.
No,
but it does prevent that.
It is close enough.
So
So you get probed, you saw the hand, so it's a couple of sculpting spells, a couple of lands, an Emrakul, which is a dead card.
So that looks really good for Scott, seeing an Emrakul in Misha's opening hand.
Yeah, I don't think he has a path to exile either. But maybe he just drew it. He drew something.
So your options are kind of limited here. You can, take that shock.
Yeah.
And hopefully leave up that path, which I think he's got. Or you can... Ooh, okay. That's not looking good for Scott.
No. I like that he's just shocking himself, even though it's kind of for no reason. Because he knows that his normal life total doesn't matter. He can just shock himself all he wants.
Exactly. That's the really weird thing about playing with Infect. You've got to... you don't really care about how much life you have. It's all about how much Infect you have.
Mm-hmm. Does he have,
Man, I wish there was lifelink for Infect.
Oh, that would be sweet.
To just reduce the amount of poison counters you've got.
Does he have, Noble Hierarchs in his deck? Is he rich enough?
I don't know. That is a very important question. Noble Hierarchs can set you apart when playing this deck, and I think, judging by how this is going, it's probably Misha's win here.
Yeah. Drop down the Colonnade.
You're just sort of whirlwinding a land if you rip it, and Scott is not here, which is definitely unfortunate. It's not something you want to be...
This is not the position you want to be in against a control deck, like the deck that just makes a
if
land drop every turn.
If you take any longer, you're almost seeing a hard cast Emrakul here.
Can he? Does he have enough lands?
What card is that?
Oh, that's Necropede.
Okay, alright.
It's when it dies, it puts like a Negro on something.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's pretty cool.
Palomar Depths, yet again. Yeah, so this really looks like Misha's game. He can just... Scott can only play one thing a turn, and he can just counter it forever, so...
What is this guy?
That was the standard Infect card.
It was, Glistener?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no tokens for Misha to play. It just seems like he's really gone onto that counterspell plan.
Yeah, there's another Necropede. He's pathing that right away.
Alright. Alright, so maybe he does have Polymorph in hand. I don't really like Path here straight away, just because it gives your opponent one extra land.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Misha's probably going off here, in all honesty.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to block her.
Yeah, you can't. Is Polymorph instant speed? That's what I want to know.
Let's have a squiz, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. Polymorph is a really...
I believe it's sorcery.
card.
Yes, it is a sorcery.
Okay, it's not insanely powerful. We're going to see it go off here, and with 3 mana left open, it doesn't look like Scott's really got it. Oh, that being said, Emrakul's in his hand, so it's probably
He's got to
just
get a
Jingataxis here.
Silence.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
God.
dun, 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 dun.
I like silence in this deck. Silence in your upkeep, so they can't pump their dude.
That seems like a really good card to bring in from the sideboard.
Oh, is that Iona? Naming green? Oh my god. Wow, what a beating.
That's not a good card for Scott to see here.
No. Don't you literally just lose because you can't pump and she's a flying blocker?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Necropede and all that, but there's a point where you just stop blocking as Misha and punch him in the face. And
Yeah, there you go.
that looks like where it is. The concession from Scott, unfortunately, just didn't have what he needed, and yeah, I know how bad it feels to not hit those one land, not win off those one land hands. So
I know how bad
my
it
condolences to you, Scott.
I know how bad it is to get hit by an Iona on one color.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Absolutely.
cruel.
Anyway, that was round 2. Please join us for round 3 here on Full House Games for Magic and more.